First, it's not time for us to look at what the papers are reporting. First, let's have a peek through. The Nation newspaper, Lamido attacks PDP governors over exclusion from chair race. Ex-Jigawa governor threatens legal action. Turaki fit to lead party. The next, Blueprint newspaper, November the 15th, PDP neck. Turaki, Lamido locked in national chairmanship tussle. Party suspends aspirants. Screening. Ex-Jigawa governor threatens legal action. He's a latecomer. Turaki supporters fire back. Leadership newspaper, All Progressives Congress chair attacks governors, says they are not doing enough to ease hardship. Next, the Platform Times, APC chair Yilwatda to Nigerians, hold governors accountable, says states now share 2.2 trillion naira monthly, but citizens see little impact. Says no government or no governor earns less than 4 times what they got 2 years ago. Accuses state, local government leaders of failing to deliver basic services. Next is the Daily Times. NOA faults DMO, that's Debt Management Office, on Nigeria's debt profile, says debt declines under Tinubu. Nigerian News Direct. Nigerian youths chase online fame to tap 7.3 trillion naira digital economy. As car sporters thrive on Lagos streets, celebrities raise the alarm over rising tide of online begging. This Nigeria, doctors demand 38 billion naira to avert strike, lists 19 items, including unpaid allowances, pensions, welfare, others. Now, Daily Independent, drug traffickers infiltrate Nigeria's courier services. And last but not least is Sport Alive. Shell opens up. I follow 80 players weekly. Interesting. Let's get down to brass tacks. Etoma, Ria, and Olamide. Now, Etoma, if you look at the Nation newspaper as well as the Blueprint newspaper, ahead of November the 15th, PDP NEC meeting or convention. Turaki, Lamido, they are locked in national chairmanship tussle, and Lamido is attacking PDP governors over exclusion from chair race. And others are saying, guy, you're not fit to lead the party. Let me read an excerpt here saying, all of them met me in PDP. Where were they in 1998 when the PDP was formed? Where were they when they fought for the party, when we fought for the party all through the last 25 years? And we are yet to see the last of this battle.
That is just whipping up sentiments, as far as I'm concerned. He's a chieftain in the PDP, so he knew the deadline for the sale of forms. And he didn't buy the form, he didn't go to buy the form before the deadline, and he went after the deadline, and, and he expected something because, I don't know, because it is him, he expected the forms to be given to him. And they said no, so he is angry, and I'm wondering why. My dear, you went late.
Ria, others are saying that party suspends aspirant screening, ex-Jigawa governor threatens legal action, and others are saying, guy, you're a latecomer. Turaki supporters, firing back.
But when we talk about Lamido, we know that this is a person that is one of the founding members of the PDP. So when we see him come out like this against the PDP, it's quite scary for me, and it just signals a lot of weakness in that party. Oftentimes I've said it, one of the problems with PDP is the power tussle. Everybody wants to get power, and people need to understand that if you do not bend for somebody, at the end of the day, everything will crash. And that is what we're seeing happening. There's no day we've spoken about the PDP and we've seen that, okay, they are settling their house. But if there's anything I want them to understand today is that if your house is not settled, Nigerians will never trust you to settle Nigeria. Because if you cannot settle a place like your home, how do you now want to settle the whole of Nigeria? We're almost getting to election time and their party is already shaking. And it hurts me that they're seeing all of this, but then when we talk about politicians, they are very, very optimistic. But they're seeing all of this and they do not understand that they're drowning.
That's right.
So the PDP needs to do a lot for them to even think that there will be a viable opposition, for 2027.
It is normal for conflict to arise where there are conflicts of interest. So these are politicians, they always have their battle. It is not the first time. They resolve it. But are you looking at a resolution to this, quagmire? within the party?
I think it couldn't come at a worse time, at a more worse time for PDP. I mean, right now, leading up to the 2027 elections, they're under a microscope. Like Ria rightly said, how can we expect you to govern the affairs of our country if you can't run a party smoothly? In fact, if you ask me, this whole back and forth between Turaki and Lamido, it really signals a shift away from what we know Nigerian politics to be, which is you have a godfather, and that's not a bad term, but you have a godfather who takes you under their wing. I would expect that the founding fathers would teach the ideology of the original PDP to the ones that are coming in. This division is very infantile, and I'm not enjoying it very much. And right now, Nigerians are watching them under a microscope.
Nigerians are really watching.
Has already said,
and when I said it the other day that PDP is shaking, I don't think they can be able to stand strong again. People were coming against me, but honestly, with everything happening, it will be very difficult for that party to stand strong again, knowing that this is a party that was, they had a lot of governorship candidates. Now, how many do we even have right now?
Makinde has already said that they should hold him responsible if that convention didn't go well. So we'll see.
And they will hold him, and he will definitely be held.
Did we all see on social media Sheyi Makinde on a scooter? Was it Sheyi Makinde or who was it?
I didn't even see that. But he will be held. As for being held,
all right, then, let's move on to the leadership newspaper. All Progressives Congress chair attacks governors, says they are not doing enough to ease hardship. The same thing for Platform Times. You watch that to Nigerians hold governors accountable because 2.2 trillion naira monthly are being shared, but citizens see little impact. This is 100%, in fact, 170% correct.
You see, I'm happy it's the national chairman of the APC that has said this.
Not just APC, the ruling party.
Okay.
Yeah, because foreigners who are watching will say, okay, APC. But the ruling party, the incumbent party.
Yes, I'm happy it's the national chairman that's saying this to the governors. Right now, we have so many governors in the APC. So he's looking at them and saying, look, you are not complimenting what Mr. President is doing in the center. And it is 100% true. How many times have we talked about it here on several issues where the governors would have just done a little to push what Mr. President is trying to do. And they are not doing it. Before now, it used to be, there's no money, there's no that, but now that is not the case. It's 4 times what you were
Ibrahim, I'll just add to this quickly. When Ibrahim was mentioning the money, my heart was beating because, when you talk about money, Ria is always very agile. We're talking about 2.2 trillion naira. Or trillion.
Spread across 36
and
states,
then
actually.
You now wonder, I'm not going to mention the names of the states that I think are not doing really well because I don't want police to carry me after the show. But basically, some of these states are just doing horrible things for their people. You see the people really suffering, and then you see the governors, just living life when the people are not doing well. At the end of the day, if you're a governor and you are put there, there for the people. You're not put there for your family. You're not put there for your pocket. The president cannot do everything alone, and that is why he gives people, the ability to also take their roles. I feel like any governor that has so much money under him and his people are suffering is definitely a big shame and must be brought to book.
Yeah, Lamido, let's move on to the Nigerian News Direct, saying Nigerian youth chase online fame to tap 7.3 trillion naira digital economy. As car spotters thrive on Lagos streets, celebrities raise the alarm over rising tide of online begging. So we have an ecosystem where you have a lot of youth, tapping their own, blessings.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Everyone is online now.
But
it's so sad sometimes when you see very interesting posts and someone will come down. I've not eaten for 3 weeks. My wife just gave birth. And all of this and all of that.
Absolutely. We discussed this the other day on Trending Now, as we so often do, and we discussed that there's a huge digital economy to be tapped into. The other day we saw Jarvis and Pella. If you're watching back home, I hope you know who that is. We saw them get over 20 million TikTok coins. That translates into about $35,000 in today's economy just from live streaming. So underestimate social media at your own peril. There's a whole economy to be tapped into. And I said this is not just for social media content creators. It's for us journalists. It's for writers. It's for whoever. There's a whole online economy that you can tap into to increasingly digitize your field. Tap in. I think that is wonderful. And as for the online begging, I think people have access to people who have money, and that's just how the game goes.
And Olamide, some people do not want to post. Some people tell you, I will not post on my WhatsApp status because the next thing is billing.
And then the very celebrities, the very online creators and celebrities that are complaining about online begging, they actually use this to their advantage. They do things like giveaways to draw crowds and larger audiences. So it's a give and
But the thing is that, Olamide, at the end of the day, if you don't tap on social media...
It is really sad that social media provides such an opportunity. And some people, the only thing they can think about is to go beg.
But some people, it's their livelihood. That's what they do every morning.
Do you know what I've seen? I've seen a Nigerian youth populace that has had no choice but to turn to the virtual world for survival and for empowerment.
That's right.
But the same people they are begging have used social media for their advantage.
Because of our time. This Nigeria, doctors demand 38 billion naira to avert nationwide strike. List 19 items, including unpaid allowances, pensions, welfare, others. You know, when you look at the nation, and you know that some people who are their work is very, very sacrosanct. They are the people in the front lines. You know, you also mention journalists as much as you mention doctors, emergency responders. So it is very, very key that they accede to their plea.
Yes, and I believe that 38 billion is to settle some of those allowances they are talking about. Two sets of people that I think that this country should take seriously, very seriously from yesterday: teachers and doctors. You know,
and journalists.
and even security agents. Agents. These are
teachers and doctors, because these people are so important to the growth of any country. Not to talk of Nigeria, that has such a huge youth population. You know, they've stated everything, and 19 items, 38 billion. It's not too big for the country to handle. I just pray that they get their demands done and this strike is averted.
I really pray they get their demands, because we know what it is when they go on strike. People fall sick almost every day. If we do not have doctors to take care of these people, you know, we have people dying when they shouldn't have even. But it's not the first time these doctors are saying they're going on strike. So the question we want to ask is, what is the problem? What are they not settling? I feel like oftentimes we do not understand the importance, and we come and say, oh, our doctors are traveling, they're jackpotting, they're going to other countries. But are we treating them well, the ones we have in Nigeria? That's my problem. Why do they have to go on strike if, you know, they are not being given what they're supposed to be given? At the end of the day, I don't even think 38 billion is a lot of money for what they're asking for, knowing what they do.
Lamido, very quickly, if you look at Daily Independent, they said drug traffickers infiltrate Nigeria's courier services. People are doing their genuine businesses. Others are using the same platform to, you know, push drugs, push narcotics, etc.
Absolutely. They're part of a bigger cartel. That is what is happening. The people that you're seeing infiltrating these courier services, there's a bigger cartel that is taking advantage of this. And so we need to gather them up and gather our intel so we can disband these networks. It's a shame, absolutely, because that means that drugs are now more quickly infiltrating the world that we live in.
Just yesterday, we reported what happened in the club as well.
It's a shame.
All right, then, Sports and Life says Shell opens up. I follow 80 players weekly. Monitors 500 players for Super Eagles, says Wambali, still number one. Explains why Frederick Olusegun were invited. Yeah, it's an interesting twist for us to know by the Super Eagles coach, I believe, you know, making the statements. If you also look at the front page, we have Chelsea eyes Ter Stegen rather. Carragher, Liverpool in crisis mode after 4 losses. This is an interesting read for the Sport and Live, but we need to raise them because of our time. That's about it for the newspapers up for review this morning. Still to come, in a show of solidarity, APC governorship aspirants in Osun State pledge unity ahead of 2026 election. Join us after the break for this conversation. Just stay with us, we'll be right back.